Hey Dad, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just doing a, experimental pork belly today. Don't know how it's gonna turn out, but it looks like that on TV, so we'll just give it a go. Wow, that looks good. Look at that. Nice and tidy. Pork is in the room temperature. I poured some salt on it. Put it in the stick. The most important thing is heat. What I'll show you by that is, it doesn't matter what barbecue you use. You just make sure that before you put the pork in there, it's going to be as high as it can be. In this case, it'll be 300. And by the time you open up the barbecue, they're going to start losing heat. And at the moment, you can see there is all the burners on because I want to get this heat all the way to the maximum. But once I've got the pork on the barbecue, just notice what I do with the burner. Checking good. So now, looks in the center, and now just switch this off, and the center one, the center barbecue is going to be off, so it's going to get indirect heat going into the pork. The next stage will be not to do it, not to look at it, don't do anything for 45 minutes.
What are you doing now, Dad?
I am doing the gravy. And it is proven to be very nice gravy last time. Oh no, I didn't use this spoon. I stuffed up. I think I'm happy with this. We don't have to have too much of a gravy. It's called the improvisation when you stuffed up, that's always fun.
You said that!
How do you actually say it, Freddie?
Improvisation, what the hell?
And then I just put another 2 more. I reckon it'll be plenty. 1 teaspoon of white sugar. Well, this sugar doesn't look white. It looks like
Raw sugar.
That's raw sugar.
Oh, well, there's still sugar. We got everything done. All I got to do is just put 400 ml or 1.5 cup of lukewarm water and whisk it. So I think that, where's that whisking? Here you go. You got this gigantic whisk. It's a bit too big, but it works. So once you got a lukewarm water, you just whisk it, put it in the fire, and keep on whisking it. That's it. That's the gravy. The rest is not a rocket science. You whisk it, put the water, you whisk it, you put it on the fire until they look like a gravy. You can't really go wrong with it. The last piece of having, not really the last, the second last kind of, because I don't really like the veggies, so usually somebody else look after the veggies. So you gotta have a pork crackling, you gotta have a gravy, and you also have to have an applesauce. So nothing better but to make a real applesauce from apples. That's an apple. I think it's about 4 apples or 5 apples, depends how much you want. You cut it into those little pieces. You can add a little bit of water later on, see how it goes. Again, cooking is an art. There's no such thing called exact recipe. You see it, you taste it. If it looks like crap and it tastes like crap, that means it's crap. So, just use a bit of imagination. Believe it or not, that'll become mushy in the next, say, 20 minutes. So just low fire and add a bit of sugar. Depends how sweet or not sweet you want it to be. And magically they'll turn into like an applesauce. So applesauce is very simple. Buy some apples, cut it, get rid of that little thing, in the middle.
The apple core?
The apple core. There you go, I'm not a cook. I only cook for fun. Half an hour, it turned to be an applesauce. For some reason, that's how it works. Easy. It's called the man's cooking. Which means it's not much skill. Just a bit of fun. And you can't just screw up that much. I did screw up so many times, but they're still eatable. So something about pork is that it's like life of like a box of chocolate, like Forrest Gump says. You don't know what you're gonna get until you open it. So let's have a look. Let's have a look after 45 minutes.
What do you think, Freddie?
What do you reckon, Freddie?
I think it should be pretty good. Well, we stuffed it up so many times, so it better be good.
Yeah, 240, perfecto! Oh! Look at that, it is perfect! That's a perfect pork belly. Now, what we're gonna do, very critical now. So you got the crunchiness of the pork belly. And now we're gonna cook the veggies and hopefully it'll fit. Sometimes it doesn't fit, I don't know. And then we're gonna tell our beautiful assistant Siri, hey Siri, 45 minutes timer please. Well, Siri's not responding, as you can see. Hello, Siri! Oh, doesn't understand Chinese either. So, hey, Siri! Oh, obviously Siri doesn't work today. Must be coronavirus, I'm not sure. So anyway, the old ways, 45 minutes, Siri on strike. There you go, 45 minutes, low fire. So now it's gonna make the pork cook properly. So depending how big your pork, I would check it about 30 minutes. Use the internal thermometers. If the temperature is there, it's done pretty much. So 45, but I usually check about 30 minutes, depending how big is the pork. I think the applesauce is ready, isn't it?
Oh,
Pretty sure it is.
no, we've kind of left it in there.
So when you look at the applesauce that looks like a vomit, they're ready. So that looks like a vomit kind of thing. So that looks like ready. Beautiful applesauce, perfect. So applesauce is done, like I said, low fire, and taste it. And actually, I never even wanted to taste it because it tastes like apple every time. So it's not much variant on it. You know, you buy the same apple from Woolies that looks like that, it tastes like that every time. Like I said, the cooking is an art, it's not engineering, but there's a few aspects of it in engineering. For example, that when you start cooking meat, and I do believe that certain aspect of it is engineering. For example, that I always have a good, accurate thermometer, because you know, you don't want to cook and 3 hours later your kids start complaining they have a run in the toilet, you know. So some aspect of cooking is solid, is technical. You're gonna get the right internal temperature of meat properly because you know it's gonna cook properly. So some part of it's fun, some part of it you gotta get it right. Now the other part of this gravy is I don't like is the most boring part. That's why I usually call my son to do it. So Freddy, this is your job as usual. All you gotta do, just get someone, just keep on stirring until it becomes a gravy. The second part of the gravy is the most important one, the actual gravy from the pork, which means the actual pork fat, you know. When you barbecue that pork, it's grilling and it drips the fat, and it's a fat tray what I got from Weber. So it's pretty much a pure clean fat that will drop into that tray underneath. Once that's done, you get the tray, which is a new tray. That's what we always use, a new tray. One off and you chuck it away, and pour that pork fat and gravy which got tasty with pepper and salt and everything into the gravy. That's what makes your gravy perfecto. If he screw up, he's gonna pay penalties, getting less meat. Okay, Freddy, keep on shaking, son.
That is a huge whisk.
Well, look at that. Well, as you probably know, we live in Australia, so this against child slavery. So my kid only want to do this for about half a minute. So he give it back to me, and I'm stuck with this whisk as usual. So now the gravy kind of ready, and anyway, he's playing around now. Yes, you feed them, but they don't really do much, these kids. So they're saying that you gotta put it halfway, you know. So first thing I'll do it this way. 73, that's cooked. I just put it this way too, just in case, you know, an error reading. So right in the middle of that. Ooh, 82, beautiful. So that's cooked all the way there. That's beautiful. So that's cooked. So this proven half an hour is enough. I usually like my pork around 71. 77 is very well done. So this is about 71, 73. That's perfect.
Whoa, look at that, shiny.
Look at it. It's so crunchy. Now I'm not in charge of cutting because of some incidents that happened. So somebody else has to do this one.